Capital Gaborone. I'm Ulibile Samoka. Let's take a look at stories making headlines. Some residents of Gaborone West pleaded with government to deal with increasing criminal activities in their area. African leaders kick-started dialogue on the modalities of establishing Continental credit rating agency.
Lock Leaders Township rollers aim to continue with their winning ways when they visit Murupule Wanderers tomorrow.
That is Liza Osake joining us later on a sport desk. Tapos is interpreting in sign language. Welcome and thank you for joining us. The decision to cut aid by the U.S. administration has compelled African nations to urgently seek alternatives to mitigate impending gaps in the continental health systems. President Advocate Dumaboko explained this afternoon, this after a high-level meeting of heads of state and government, which was chaired by Africa's Center for Disease Control champion and President of Rwanda, Paul Kagame. The meeting discussed how the union can mobilize resources and finance domestic health systems. President Boko stated that Africa should plan ahead to avert future crises, aiding that the continent can no longer rely on foreign aid to meet the health needs for its people. In spite of the 2001 Abuja Declaration, where governments pledged to commit at least 15% of their budgets to health, many African nations have failed to honor the initiative, leaving the continent's health system in a precarious situation.
Re bone mo dinakong tse di hitile mme re bone segolobogolo ka nako ya COVID-19 ha mahatse ba itseela melemo ba bo ba ipela ba bo ba itirisetsa ba ala ha batho ba bone go go ra gore matlotlo ra hana le teng ke ona na ka hitela ko mahatseng a Afrika bone mo o ne ga tlisa lesedinyana mme go bona la gore ne le sa lekana mme ditiragalo tsa bosheng tse la tsela America jaanong le tlhalositseng gore ga lena go thola le tswelela le thusa mo go tsa botsogo ka mananeo wa go ntse go ikaegilwe ka one ebile go beilwe mo gone jaanong ke sengwe se se kgotlileng sa ba sa tsikinya mahatsa a Afrika gore ba lemoge go hita jaaka ba kile ba lemoga gore jaanong boikarabelo ja go tlamela batho ba bone mo go tsa botsogo bo mo maruding a bone maikaelelo ke gore jaanong mahatsa a Afrika a ikgobokanye one a tse bokgoni ja one le ditsompelo sa ntlha ba tsene mo go lekeng go itirela melemo bone le mekento ba godise their own pharmaceutical industries ba tshwaragane mme ebile gongwe ba ageletse mo mahatseng a nang le bokgoni jo bo rileng jaaka rona re na le bokgoni ka BOTSWANA Vaccine Institute e jaanong re ya tolosang gore
Some residents of Gaborone West urge the acting president, who is also their member of parliament, Mr. Ndabakaolate, to help address issues impacting their social well-being and declining economic development in the area. They said this during a Khotla meeting addressed by Mr. Ndabakaolate. Monica Setswaela.
Gaborone West is home to inhabitants from various parts of the country, and over the years this has led to increased societal challenges such as crime, sex work and drug abuse. The residents are of the view that this affects both their well-being and development efforts.
Mo mantung a rona ka beng re a hirisetsa batho gore ba roba le ba sireletsege kana ba nne ka tsela engwe bangwe ba rona re a dirile mo go teng di brothels re a dirile mo go teng o hirisetsa ko batho ba rekisang teng mme ba rekisa se le mmele.
However, government is currently exploring ways to rebuild the economy in order to improve lives through job creation.
Ba bantsi bana ba rona ba ba itseng ka dikgwebo ba ba itseng ka go aga dikgwebo ba ile gore ha re ka ba phuta ba ka nna ba tsenya diseminara tsa bo mmadimausu le bo radimausu gore ba ka itlhabolla ka tsela e ntseng jang re ka dira dikoporasi ka tsela e ntseng jang bo mme bogolo jang ba metshelo ra go tsaya metshelo ka tlhoagalo kana ha motho a iteka go motlogo gore motho yo maiteko a thusiwe.
Other issues raised was the need to maintain schools in the area and the sustainability of Bereavement program.
Hanne re ka batla bana mo motseng ba nna pentenyana hela gore sekole se phatsime le go tsengwa bo mabati le difestere.
Ga ke a utlwa lentswe lengwe le le buang gore bana ba ba kgaola ba tsamaya bosigo ba la ba kgaola bojang le ha se ya le le phatsima jana ga ke se kutu ba le go boletong kgaitsa diaka.
Re le ka go lebella thulaganyo ye ntšha ya gore ipelegeng e tlhabololwe ka tsela ye ntseng jang gore e ska ya nna ipelegeng hela ya go tlhagola le go kolomaka mme nne ipelegeng e leng gore go nne le ditutuntsho tsa gore bangwe ba rutuntshiwe e nne bone ba ba dirisiwang go thusa go baakanya mo dikoleng.
Regarding the budget speech, the residents applauded government for the increment of the old age pension allowance. Monica Setswaela, BTV News, Gaborone.
African leaders convened this morning to kickstart a dialogue on the modalities of establishing Continental Credit Rating Agency. The idea to start a homegrown credit rating emanates from the 2017 instruction by heads of government that the African Peer Review Mechanism, APRM, should provide support to member states in the field of rating agencies. The decision was fueled by deep concerns over chronic low credit ratings from international credit ratings agencies like STD and Poor's, Moody and Fitch. AU believes the low ratings stifle member states from accessing global capital markets, as a result derailing the continent from achieving economic growth and progress. At a presidential breakfast towards the establishment of Africa Credit Rating Agency, President William Ruto of Kenya said Africa is hamstrung by flawed and outdated systems that paint an unfair picture about the continent. President Hakainde Hichilema of Zambia also underscored the importance of urgently setting up a credible homegrown credit rating cognizant of Africa's socio-political and economic dynamics. The credit rating is expected to provide a fair, transparent and development focus that reflect the realities and potential of Africa economies. Only 2 African countries, Botswana and Mauritius, have been rated as creditworthy by the international rating agencies.
Despite the progress we have made, the international rating agencies have often presented a distorted and unhelpful view of our economies, and their assessments are pretty much characterized by unpredictability and inconsistency. The lack of objectivity on credit rating of our economies, on the one hand, has severely hampered our ability to access capital, and on the other, limited our capacity to integrate with the global financial system.
It is clear that one of the issues that keeping Africa's economies down is this animal called the cost of capital. I think we need to deal with it. And the way we are dealing with it today, yesterday, progressing the implementation, actualization of the African Credit Rating Agency is correct. So we're going to address that one variable, if it's the only challenge that is outstanding, to tick the box for us to make that investment, public or private. And I'm focusing here not on consumption expenditure. I'm focusing on investment expenditure, projects that will lead to growth of our economies.
The European Union has collaborated with government to implement a new flagship program on digital transformation in the country. In his remarks at a dinner hosted in honor of the European delegation yesterday, the Minister for State President, Mr. Moeti Mohasa, says the partnership resonates well with one of the new government's priorities to drive the country's economic and development agenda through digitalization. Monica Seswaila.
The world over recognizes digitalization as one of the key strategies to reaching greater heights in terms of development. This European Union Power Digitalization project, which is to last 3 years, aims to ensure the country is not left behind in that regard, focusing on improving policies and ensuring a digitalized public service.
Its specific objectives include an improved regulatory and governance frameworks conducive for digital transformation, advanced e-government development and the delivery of digital public services, strengthen digital innovation and entrepreneurship ecosystems with a specific focus on women and the youth. The women and the youth are the vulnerable sector in our society, and it's actually gratifying to have programs that are specifically aimed at the women and the youth. These objectives and expected outcomes of the project resonate well with me as the Minister for State President and responsible for the delivery of or execution of government business.
The EU is driven by digitalization and is a willing partner in driving the growth of this country's digital landscape.
I'm really proud to present a mission of Team Europe colleagues composed of colleagues from France, from Finland and from Estonia who have come all the way to Botswana to start the implementation of a new flagship program on digital transformation to help the country in its economic diversification drive. Under the leadership of your ministry, Honourable Minister, and of course with the cooperation with SmartBots, a long-standing partner of the European Union, we are here and our colleagues are here to listen to the needs of the government in order to implement the vision of the government, which was very clearly spelled out during the budget speech a couple of days ago.
It started with a fact-finding mission that came in 2022, and then they also came to also validate the data in October 2023. After that, there was a document of action that was developed, which was only adopted last year in October.
Both parties have expressed commitment and dedication towards the success of the project. Monica Setswaila, BTV News, Gaborone.
The Minister for State President, Mr. Moite Mohasa, this morning visited the Dikolobe family at Ntluedibi ward in Molepolole to console them after the passing of Ms. Maushali Dikolobe. The late Ms. Maushali Dikolobe was the mother to Mr. Kabo Dikolobe, who is the director at Government Printing Services, which falls under the Ministry of State President. According to the family spokesperson, the deceased passed on last week Thursday after a short illness. The minister, who was accompanied by Commissioner of Police Ms. Diana Marathe, consoled the bereaved family and encouraged them to remain strong during these difficult times. However, Ms. Maushali Dikolobe will be laid to rest tomorrow in Molepolole.
Me halentele ya ka minister ra na bua ke motho o re gakollang thata gore ba re tshware emelane nnete me o supile ke la go bua kana o nga go bua ga go sa direge ha o ngwithele ka ga se go me a no go supile ke re ke a le bogatona.
in an accident that happened this morning at Seserasekama Barracks. A member of the Botswana Defence Force stationed at SSKB was reportedly fatally overrun by a mobile gun system. The Botswana Defence Force says the deceased member was among the gun crew that were preparing the guns for a scheduled training program as part of the force readiness. Investigation to establish the circumstances surrounding the incident are ongoing and the names of the deceased are still withheld. Just still watching BTV News. Thank you for staying with us. Now, elders in Gaborone have expressed relief and joy following the government's decision to increase the monthly old age pension allowance, locally known as Tandabala, from 830 pula to 1,400 pula. The move, announced during this week's national budget speech, takes effect on April 1st. In an interview with BTV News, many pensioners hailed the decision, stating the additional funds will significantly improve their quality of life. Mojadi Mukibelo.
The government's pledge to raise the old age pension allowance dominated public expectations ahead of Monday's budget announcement. For Botswana's elderly citizens, the decision marks a long-awaited relief. The old age pension allowance increment will allow me to buy other essentials like clothes and toiletry.
Puso e rile sente ka re ntse re sotega re tsaya lemele le nyenyane.
We are so thankful to the government as the old age pension allowance increment will sustain us.
Puso e rile jana go botoka o ta kgona go reka sekiri bo reka le molora.
Ke lebogile modimo go heta sengwe le sengwe. Puso e tseneng o ka re tle gore tlhatlosa maemo.
I'm so thankful for this increment and we applaud this new government. Several beneficiaries told BTV News the increase will not only cover basic needs but also allow them to support their families.
The
increment will also sustain our families in general. The increment will help improve our livelihoods in our families. I'm so thankful for this increment as this will help me buy food and all the essentials I needed in my entire life. Many pensioners added that after securing essentials, they now hope to save a surplus funds for emergencies. Mojadi Mukibelo, BTV News, Gaborone.
The Minister of Higher Education, Mr. Prince Maele, says the focus area for the new government will include transformation of technical education in an effort to unlock the country's economic potential and to grow the entrepreneurial spirit and energy among the youth. Mr. Maele highlighted this at the ministry's executive retreat held in Lobatse. Pel Puduhudu reports.
Minister Maele says the youth are facing unemployment. Therefore, he believes that when producing graduates as educators, they should produce entrepreneurs, not job seekers, so as to help the government grow the country's economy.
I should highlight that transformation requires a heightened risk appetite and some expediency. Therefore, the ministry should be bold in pursuit of its mandate. In coining your plans for the next financial year, be bold. Make difficult choices. Think outcomes so that we positively affect the lives of our fellow citizens.
Some attendees acknowledged the minister's remarks, saying the transformation or development of TVET colleges in Botswana will take the country to a higher level.
mo go tsotlhe tse re ka di dirang.
Delivering services on time to Botswana is a very important aspect, and also TVET colleges will be one of the focus area this year to ensure that they are transformed into education institutions that are recognized worldwide.
The educational institutions that are recognized worldwide.
Minister talked about the development of TVET in our country, which I believe will take this country into some other level, like, you know, just being, when it comes to the issue of, you know, when your car or our vehicles need some repair, we always see foreigners or people outside Botswana, you know, helping us in that regard. But yet we have people or our children who can, you know, do the job. So when we're talking about TVET, we are talking about a situation whereby we can upskill our own people to take those jobs.
Minister Maele has encouraged the executive to embrace innovation to enhance service delivery and improve the overall quality of life for Botswana. Pel Puduhudu, PTV News, Lobatse.
As today marks Valentine's Day, Botswana have been celebrating it through buying gifts to their loved ones, families as well as friends. Most of them highlighted that this day is celebrated not only by lovers, but also marks a time to show love and compassion to the less privileged in societies, amongst others.
Batsadi ke kopa gore go gae go malapeng le itse gore Valentine's Day ga se lebagane le relationship gore my partner or my husband or my boyfriend. Valentine's Day e raya gore re bule dipelo tsa rona o mongwe le mongwe re ba he lorato. Go to the shop and buy flowers, buy chocolate and give.
To me this day ke ka raba to ke ba ra ke re we have to start afresh. Very lebella lerato right in big picture. We have to start to forgive one another and begin to show one another love. Appreciation is so good for everyone. Chocolate, that's very good.
It's particularly lovely for re share we appreciate each other as human beings. As I got these little lovely things for my little ones, you know, because le bone ko dikolong ba celebrated this love e tlisitsweng ke Saint Valentine.
Love is something that is desired by most people and is said to strengthen relationships. As such, it is said to build homes and has potential to generate a good and more productive nation. This was said by the Deputy District Commissioner in Francistown, Mr. Patrick Toteng, as the employees of different departments at Nse House were celebrating this day for half an hour before commencing their work. The day is well known for love celebration, especially between couples. Employees were also encouraged to exercise love amongst themselves, as that can help improve performance at work.
Lorato selo se botlhokwa se se bopaganyang malapa. Lelapa le tlholwa ke lone lorato. Lorato ke mpho ya modimo ke se tshwantse re se itse ke mpho ya modimo yaanong mo letsatsing la gompieno le la di 14 ya ka re itse ditso tsa letsatsi le la Valentine's re tshwanna ke gore ka nako tsotlhe re be re supa lorato le senang dibelebejane le sa repeng.
It is time for our sport news. Slides also again on standby.
Thank you so much, Olibile. Good evening. I am Liza Oseking with your World of Sport. In our leading story, the FNB Premiership will be action-packed this weekend as the battle for honours intensifies. Log leaders Township Rollers aim for maximum points when they visit Morupule Wanderers at Palape Stadium on Saturday. A victory for Popa will solidify their spot at the summit of the log standings with 42 points. Khomotso Safako.
Popa have dominated this fixture, remaining unbeaten in their last 7 league meetings with Morupule Wanderers. From their previous 19 league matches so far this season, Rollers have recorded 11 wins, 6 draws and only 2 losses against Joining Galaxy, as well as Moromotse Mpoate Orapa United. However, Mapalestina's away form has been a concern, with just 1 win from their last 5 games on the road. Morupule Wanderers, currently on 30 points from 9 wins, 3 draws and 7 losses, have had a fair season. They have taken 10 points from their last 5 home matches, with their only home defeat of 2025 coming midweek against Orapa United. In another fixture, high-flying Soal Flamingos visits struggling VTM FC at VTM Arena. Bafana Baletswai are riding high after a 2-1 victory over Gaborone United, but have yet to beat VTM since the latter's promotion to Top Flight League. Meanwhile, VTM are desperate to end a 9-game winless run, with their last victory dating back to December 2024 against Puchuris and the Chiefs. Elsewhere, Extension Gunners, sitting just above the dreaded relegation zone, will seek revenge when they face Orapa United at Itiken Stadium. Both sides are boosted by midweek wins, Gunners defeating Security Systems and Orapa edging out Morupule Wanderers. In the bottom half, 13th place BDF 11 take on title contenders Traffic at Royal Area Stadium. BDF 11 are struggling this season with just 1 win from their last 10 matches. Traffic sitting second have lost only twice in their last 10 outings against Gaborone United and Matebele FC. Finally, bottom place Union Flamingo Santos host Matebele FC at BPS Stadium, hoping to secure their second win of the campaign. Khomotso Sefako, PTV Sport, Gaborone.
Still with football news, First Division South log leaders Tlokwen United, who were eliminated from the Orange FA Cup by Muchudi Thunder Chiefs last week, will now shift their focus to the league. The Tlokwen outfit will take on Prisons 11 on Saturday at SSG grounds in Gaborone. Tsegofatso Malepa has more.
Tlokwen United has accumulated 18 points from 5 wins, 3 draws and 2 losses so far this season. They go into this match aiming to extend their lead at the summit of the log standings. The Tlokwen-based side must win this encounter to increase their lead at the top of the log, as they are level on points with Police 11 and Janayan Stars. The 3 are separated only by goal difference. On the other hand, 5th place Prisons 11, who have played more draws this season, hope to cut Tlokwen United's lead by securing a win in this weekend match. In other First Division South matches scheduled for Saturday, Taung Strikers will face Norton FC at B-Free Park with kickoff scheduled for 4:30 p.m. Desert Ngau will take on 3rd place Jwaneng Stars at Tabon VDC grounds, while Mahosi FC, who are fighting to improve their log position, will host St. Diamonds at Sega grounds in Ramotswa. Police 11, currently in 2nd, will play host to Holy Ghost at Otse Police College. Tsegofatso Malepa, PTV Sport.
We are now switching codes. The senior national boxing team manager, Kgawane Motshwanaisi, says the team is responding well in camp as they are preparing for the Zone 4 championship. The championship was postponed from December last year to this year due to civil wars in Mozambique. Rifilwele Korwe and William Sioka compiled this report.
Motshwanaisi says she is confident that the youth for side of 8 boxers will perform better than in 2022, where they brought home gold, 3 silver and 3 bronze medals.
The preparations are going well. We started this camp last year because this tournament was scheduled to be in December, and it was postponed because of the unrest that was happening in Mozambique. So we started again this year. The camp went on break and then we started this year on the 8th. So we are preparing to go on the 25th because the tournament is starting on the 26th to the 3rd of March. What I can promise Botswana out there is the team that we have selected is the cream of la cream. So we are hoping that we're going to come back with some medals.
Boba applauded Botswana National Sport Commission for assisting them in preparing the team.
The support is top class. We are in camp. We are being the accommodation, the food, everything is being taken care by BNSC. The boxes that are on camp, some of them are under Zebra funding, so we are being sponsored by the Zebra funding.
More support support is still needed to sharpen the team ahead of the championship.
We need the support in terms of anything, either monetary or any other support out there. Companies out there come and support boxing. We have the talented boxers that we are hoping that they can take our flag somewhere.
The team, which is led by coaches Chogan Toti and David Kimuitsuletse, consists of 4 male boxers and 4 female boxers. The male team is made up of Mulukise Kwaipe, Letono Makholela, Kobamelo Malatlegi, and Kyobakien Philip. Katlerze Modise, Peggy Bele, Tokas Tabologo, and Robin Modise make the ladies' team. Refule Lekore, BTV Sport, Gaborone.
Well, that is it for sport this evening. Let's now take a look at stories making headlines once again.
Some residents of Gaborone West pleaded with government to deal with increasing criminal activities in their area. African leaders kick-started dialogue on the modalities of establishing Continental credit rating agency.
And in sport, local leaders, township rollers aim to continue their winning ways when they visit Murubula Wanderers tomorrow.
And that is all the news we had for you this hour. Do stay with us. Weather's up next, followed by Eye on SADC. Stay with us.
Coming up in this edition of Eye on SADC, diplomats hail Nyoma with tributes. Zambia's President Hichilema honors the legacy of Namibia's first president, Sam Nyoma. And 30 investors from Saudi Arabia pays a special visit to Tanzania. Greetings and welcome to Eye on SADC. I am Raymond Kukutu, gladly hosting you at this hour. Leading this news bulletin, since the death of Dr. Sam Nyoma on February the 8th at the age of 95 in Windhoek, diplomats accredited to